We have the notorious The King here from the HCL show. He's definitely made a name for himself. That people got a lot of questions for you, Mike. So first, let's just talk about how you got the nickname The King. Where'd that come from?
It came from my company, Wichita, Kansas, called King of Freight. So I started it basically telling everybody I'm making lead calls to shippers because we move freight on like truckload. Just calling everybody and telling them I'm the king and I'm taking over their town. And it just clicked and I started a business over it. We started taking off and it's just a bunch of hustling. It's kind of similar to poker where it's kind of human to human relations and you get a read on people, do business. And in that business, it's a lot about friendship and relationships. So that's what we preach at King of Freight. And I just kind of piggybacked off the name of the company because they asked me, like, what's your nickname? I was like, I don't know, man. I've never had a poker nickname, but we'll go with the King. Sounds good. I can just, F with people and that'll kind of have a good ring to it.
Yeah, I think it suited you well. So I'm glad you went with that. So you said you run a logistical company. How did you get into that? And do you see any parallels between that and poker?
Well, in poker, I'm not trying to be as nice as I am in like my business. I'm really nice. It's completely different. Poker is more like a character. Poker is just the way they relate is it kind of just helps me take my stress away from my job. It kind of, you just kind of go into another world, enjoy yourself. And it's kind of like you're entering the matrix. So I think it relates by helping me take my stress away from the everyday business life to just, having a good time and enjoying yourself. So it's kind of like a stress break from work.
Could you share a little bit about your journey into poker? When did you start playing? What drew you to the game?
I played my whole life, like back in the day when, everybody was online playing like Bodog. When I was a little kid, they'd have those turbo tournaments. They'd played a lot of online. And then basically I just played the casinos whenever. I played in the World Series of Poker twice. I don't have a huge background in it. I just enjoy it. I do have the record for, like you said in your previous podcast, the most timeouts in World Series of Poker history main event. So they put me in timeout probably 7 times, I think 6 times from just the banter.
What, asked to step away from the table?
Yeah, you get timeouts when you like piss them off or something. You don't be quiet. I don't know what it is, but it affected on my chip stack too. I think that was the reason I lost.
Wow. What we saw on the show is definitely who you are, right?
Not really. It's who I am when I play poker. Totally different. I'm just having fun, letting loose, talking a bunch of shit, enjoying myself. And obviously my game kind of speaks for itself. It's pretty obvious to see what my strategy is, kind of piss them off, get kind of aggressive, make you sound like you're like a drunk, loose players to where you can get a good hand and then snap them off. So, and then they get even more mad and you get them on tilt. You can see what my game is. It's pretty obvious. I don't hide it.
Yeah. So we got to see a lot of the reactions on the table from the people you play with. What are the reactions you normally get from people when they find out you're into this high stakes gambling from the business side?
I got blown up. That basically went viral. Everybody thought it was hilarious. They were like, man, you just went viral. It was funny. Like it kind of brought more life back into the game, I thought, because, it's on TV. People want to watch more than just people just sitting there and saying fold, call, raise. The banter is what makes poker great. So I think they enjoyed it. And even if they don't like it, it makes them watch. So they're going to be watching.
Exactly. Hey, very well said. I like I said in the
most of them hate me, but they're going to watch. So I play like the heel.
Mm-hmm. Play like the heel. Fair enough. Poker definitely needs more characters like yourself. Just there to have a good time.
I like what you said earlier. Like you don't cross the line. We don't talk about like anything bad. Like we all know what that is. So I just tiptoe to the line and don't cross it. So I don't want to say anything to like hurt someone's feelings personally. It's just a bunch of banter. I never crossed that line.
So your gambling style, aside from your personality on the field, your gambling style itself is very unorthodox and flashy. Is this intentional or is this a reflection of how you approach actual risk?
It's intentional.
Intentional?
Yeah, I tried. Like I said earlier, I like action because I get bored, out there to have time. So like you see, I'm trying to throw all in for $20,000 if that's allowed. Or, you saw me heads up. I don't know if you watched my last one. It went heads up $87,000 with no looking at the cards, just putting them down. We went all in for 87 on the no look. So I like the action and it kind of gets you a good little rush going. I make sure I don't lose enough to piss me off. That's always the goal too. Like I went all in for 87,000, but I got that off 20,000. So it's not like I really lost 87. So I like the rush.
So how do you decide when to be aggressive and when to be conservative in your bets? Is it a gut feeling or do you follow some kind of strategy?
Feeling, emotions, how everybody's playing, cards, of course, too. I'm normally I'll just give everybody a secret if they ever play with me again. I'm normally going to always end up chill. I'm never going to be like conservative, not talking, trying to not get action. Even if I get crappy cards, I'll start bluffing and I'll start making sure that I get some action going.
Do you have any
So I'm
poker
always going to
heroes?
eventually go.
Can you say that one more time? You're breaking up just a little bit.
I don't watch a whole lot of poker. Like since they took it off ESPN, I've been kind of out of the loop. So I heard that this was going to be on TV. I thought it was like obviously a once in a lifetime chance to go play like that. So I took that and I had a good time.
Nice. So many viewers are polarized by your play style. How do you feel about the split opinions? And on the second night, obviously, you're able to see all the talk. Did that affect you at all while on the table on the second night?
Not really. I figured that was going to happen. I figured it was going to have that type of effect where it was going to go viral. There's going to be a lot of haters, but it was going to get a lot of views. It doesn't really bother me at all. I wouldn't act like that if it did.
So is poker more of a, like you said, it's more of a relaxation kind of thing for you? It's not necessarily something that you're trying to make money at.
No. Maybe eventually I could, but I don't really care. I make money during my job, so that's not really a problem for me. I just enjoy to play.
Let's talk about the $20,000 red or black flop bet that you had. What was going through your mind at that moment?
Get money, because I was ready to, because the thing is, if I'm getting them on tilt and I win I did really good on those first 2 days. I came up really hard. And if you notice, I went viral for losing, but the majority of my losses were just flips without looking at the card. So if I hit that $20,000 hand, or if I would have hit that 87 no look $1,000 hand all in, everything changes. Everybody's going to be huge on tilt. It's going to screw up the whole entire table. They're going to get pissed off. They like seeing me get busted because I'm talking a lot of crap. I'm kind of obnoxious. I don't really shut up, but I get in their head and I kind of mess up their mind a little bit. So if I do hit that, then it really tilts them. It makes it to where I've taken over tables to where I just get them all to start playing. I clean the whole table out that way. And really, if you want to clean the whole entire table out, that's how you do it.
So you mentioned that you find the game very entertaining. Do you think poker should be more about entertainment or serious play?
Entertainment for sure, because you guys want to have views. You guys want to have people like it. They're going to get bored if they don't have the king out there.
Of course. We need the king, man. We need the king. So let's talk about how you got onto the HCL show. How did the opportunity appear, and what made you decide to participate?
Like I said before, I've only known Johnny for about 6 weeks or whatever. I just do business with him. He does some of our insurance policies. And he was like, hey, you're one of the only people that I would probably invite because you're drama. And that's what this show loves. The show loves the drama. Plus, it's on live television and you'd probably be pretty entertaining. So I was like, all right, that's how I learned about it. And then we just hopped on the plane and took off and we were there.
Just a spur of the moment kind of thing. That's exactly how I would expect it from you. Kind of just end up doing it.
That's how it always is.
Of course. How would you describe your experience on the show, and would you consider going back for another appearance?
I would love to go back, man. I have unfinished business there. I gave all my money. Like I told you earlier, I said I'm going to father all the children, but just like fathering the children, I had to give them their allowance back. So I had to let them have my money when I left. So I have some unfinished business out on that table.
Fair enough.
If I'm invited back, I don't know. I'll take the call if they call, and I'll come back and play again. But they're going to see. I'm not going to give my children their money for their allowance anymore.
We'll have to put in a good word with Nick. I loved your live by the sword clip. That was probably my favorite thing to come out of the streams, dude. It was incredible.
Yeah. I was ready, man. I was living by the sword.
How did appearing on the show impact your popularity and the way people perceive you in the poker community, and then as well in business?
I didn't really have any impact. A lot of people probably thought I was kind of a jackass, which I'm fine with. Like I said earlier, I won't act that way if I care. It's all part of the game. It is kind of like a character that I play because I'm not like that in real life. I am a little bit, but not kind of obnoxious like that. So not really much of any up or down there. Anybody who knows me knows how I am. So they're kind of used to that for me.
Let's talk about.
I did get hit up by everybody though. It went viral. There's a lot more people that watch that than I thought. Like everybody watches that. I was like, dang, I didn't know you guys all watch poker. So I did get hit up by a ton of people.
Yeah, Hustler's the biggest show in poker as far as live games go. Take us through. So Nick had told us that you went to the locker room and you had checked your phone, and that's when you saw the chat going through and you getting some banter from the chat. What did you see? What tilted you? Not tilted, but what set you off to want to show the chat that you're here to play?
I was just messing with them. I didn't really care. I heard they're all talking crap on there, so I figured, hey, if you're talking, I got to talk too. So we can do that together.
Do you think that your appearance and play style brings something new and needed to the poker world?
I do. I think that's 100% accurate. People need to be talking more. They need to have more fun. They need to have more characters. They need to make it more enjoyable to watch. They need to, have the viewers enjoy themselves as well. Like I said earlier, they don't want to just sit there and watch a boring table. They like the action like that I was bringing. That makes it a lot more fun to watch. It's a lot more exciting. Like I said earlier, they're going to probably hate me, but they're going to watch. So I think that's definitely needed. You need, just like anything, just like the UFC, just like the WWE, you got your heels, you got people that piss everybody off, but they sell pay-per-views.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. Polarizing figures, whether you love them or you hate them, you're going to watch them, just like you said earlier. So had you hadn't seen HCL prior to your show, right?
Yeah, I saw one clip because he was showing me what I'm getting myself into. I kind of watched them all. And I thought it was kind of like no one was really talking that much on the one episode that I watched. So I figured I was going to bring the heat and throw them all off. And I did. And then I gave them all their money. I gave them all my money at the end. So it is what it is. Live to see another day, die by the sword.
You had back-to-back appearances on the show. You're kind of on and off in the poker world. Do you have any, after your experience, have you had any goals or milestones that you're aiming for?
No, man, if they let me back, I'm coming. No, I'll come back again and have some more fun. I don't really have any goals or milestones in poker. Like, I'm not planning on being a professional poker player and making a career out of that. I'm just enjoying myself, having a good time. And I think that's what poker should be, And that's what's so good about poker. Anybody can win in poker. I could beat Michael Jordan in poker, the best in the world. Or you can beat me, It's all about having a good time and not turning it into like a sport, but not a sport, if you get what I'm saying. Because it's a lot of leisure. It's a lot of like, have a good time and enjoy yourself. And I like to have a good time pissing people off.
Yeah, you do a good job at it. You do a good job at it.
Yeah.
Both on and off the felt. The people in the chat also apparently get pissed off.
They got mad, man. Yeah.
I'm in full agreement, man. I love everything that you've done on the show and all. We need characters like you. We need people that are that you put people on the fence, whether they got to go.
Not scared.
Exactly. Love it. The quant stuff, keep that into tournaments. Keep that for private games, all that stuff. For the show, it's a show. We want entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to grow the game. Do you have any so obviously very splashy gambler from the show. Do you have any kind of gambling stories that you could share with us?
Oh man, I don't know. I've been kicked out before. Obviously, you can tell. I had one guy. Are we allowed to cuss on this podcast? Because if I have to repeat it, he said some bad things. Because I've had people, because my banter leads to a lot of people trying to fight me sometimes, which I can hold my own, so that's not a problem with me, whatever. But I had one guy, because I pissed him off so bad, and I guess he just got out of prison and he was at the casino and he got really angry about that. So he took this is one of the craziest things ever said to me, because I pissed a lot of people off. He slammed his hands on the table and he goes, "I just got out of jail and I used to F people like you for fun." And he literally just attacked me in the middle of the table. They had to call security and everything. So that one was a little bit crazy. I enjoyed the main event. I think what kind of got me away from poker, I was getting pretty into it until Corona hit. So when Corona hit, everything like shut down. And, I used to fly out to Vegas and go play in the $10,000 one, the main event, because that has like 8,000 people in it. It's fun. But I just a lot of banter, a lot of good times, a lot of, getting a lot of excited people to be around me and get angry.
So I assume you're not much of an online player then. You're there to be with the people.
I used to be. I'm more there to be with the people.
Let's talk a little bit more about your WSOP experience. So what exactly happened with these timeouts? How did they come about? And what does a timeout even mean?
Same thing that you saw on the show, just it was banter. I don't know how I was drinking that time, so I don't really remember like how I got the timeout or what exactly I did say, but I just got on a roll to where I think they told me to be quiet and I wasn't allowed to talk anymore. And I told them to look those up in the rule. I want to know the rules of what I can and can't say. I was calling the floor. They were calling the floor. There's a bunch of floor calling. So, and then they'd say, "Hey, every time you say something or whatever," I don't even know if they're allowed to do this, but they did. "You got to get in timeout." And I just didn't listen to them. And then they started putting me in timeouts.
Gotcha. So more or less, it was what we saw on the stream, the banter.
Yes, exactly. I get timeouts for that. I want to hear more about you. What's your background? I wanted to hear more about you. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, of course. So we're Poker Flops. We independent media company. We try to put out as much content as we can. Show the poker news, keep people informed, and again, just the main goal is to grow the game. making sure that people we're trying to bring eyes to the game. So this is why we want to partner with people like you and do shows with people like you, because again, at the end of the day, when the game grows, everyone wins. People want to turn this into a very solved game where it's very serious, but then that shies people away from the game. Excuse me. And it's at the point where it's almost like an entire generation that's been lost. Speaking for myself, I'm 23. A lot of my generation doesn't really like. They're not into poker because it seems like it's mathematics. It's very like overwhelming.
Old and boring.
Exactly. It's very slow.
They want to see the action.
Exactly. So seeing someone like you, it's exactly what I can't emphasize it enough. Exactly what the poker world needs. More people like
It'll
you.
bring the newer generation in a little bit more. They like the shit talking. They like the funny stuff. They like to see people get, a little upset and put some money in and get some action while they're doing so.
Of course. Now, don't get me wrong. Of course, there's always a place for very professional and studied poker, but that's for such a minute group in this world.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that someone that isn't fully introduced to poker or is just getting introduced to poker. They're not going to want to play by the book. They're not going to want to have to do, okay, in this spot I should be checking 33% of the time or betting 20, all that stuff. So again,
I'm all in just by hearing that.
Exactly. And that's exactly what you did.
I'm ready to go.
You shove them all in and you turn your cards over. That's it.
I even showed him that one time because I wanted to get that. It was like 4-7 stupid or something, like 4-7 of diamonds. And I threw him down. I'm like, all right, let's go. And they wanted them all. They all wanted to play after they saw that. So I get the table moving, and and then you'll see when you have a player like me on the table, you're going to see more action in between the other players because I'm just getting that emotion built. So you'll see this guy play a little heavy over here just because I got that energy.
It breaks up what they're used to. It breaks up what they're used to. They're used to the same stuff happening, and when you throw someone like you into the mix, it totally changes the entire game. Even in hands they're not involved in, it just totally changes how everyone has to play. Everyone is, and
their minds
they
are
loosen
messed
up
up
too. They also loosen up too. They're not so worried about playing super calculated. They realize like, oh, we're here to have a good time. This guy is off the fucking rocker. Who knows what the hell he's gonna do? So yeah.
You saw how they cheer. They start clapping. I get standing ovations when I lose. So they're all happy, man, having a good time. They like seeing the king go down, too. I made them all happy, man. They're all clapping. That one guy wouldn't even pound me, man. And, I had to come back for more. I had to force it after a little while. It was one of my children that I was fathering. And, he got a lucky break. So you got to give your father a pound over here, man. You can't make me just come back for 4 times. So show some respect, And he was pulling crap with his cards too. What was his name again? Pepe or something?
Pepe, yeah.
I kept calling him Mickey. I didn't really know his name. He had a Mickey Mouse shirt on, so I think he just got out of Disneyland or something.
Maybe that's what we need. Maybe we got to see a heads-up match between Pepe and the King.
I'm down, man. I need my money back, so I'll see you soon, Pepe.
Finally, any words or shout-outs to your fans, the haters watching this interview? What should they expect from the King in the future?
I don't even know I had any fans, but if I do, I'll be there, man. And come see me. I'll come play. I'm not scared. If I get the call, I'll go back there. I enjoyed it.
You got a fan time here, man. You got a fan here for sure.
Hey, man, you're awesome. I appreciate that, man. I'm always just trying to put a smile on people's faces, even if it's me being a jackass, possibly embarrassing myself. As long as I'm making them smile, we're all winning. I'm not embarrassed. I don't care. I'll act like that and not really care what people think. And like I said earlier, I don't act like that. I don't act that way if I do care what people think. So I'm just acting however I want, having a good time, enjoying myself. Life goes on. Hakuna Matata.
Preach, brother. Preach. I love it.
Yep.
All right. Well, the King, I appreciate the time. Thank you so much for coming on.
It's great to meet you.
Of course. Yeah. We'll be looking out for you in the next Hustler stream. We'll put a word in with Nick and see if we can get you on soon.
Tell him to call me if I didn't piss him off too bad. I'll be out there, brother. You have a good one.
All right. You too, man. See ya.
Don't leave me hanging like Pepe now.
Found it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, found it.
There you go. Peace.